Hi guys, welcome back for another reaction review. This time around, I'm going to bring you a band that some of you might already know, and I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of you who don't know them yet. This is what I say about bringing music from around the world, that music I'm listening to from other regions, and talking about it with my audience, which are viewers like you who come to join me to check out videos. And like this band here called Thundermother, they're a Swedish rock and roll band, and they've had a few different renditions of the band. That they had like almost a full complete lineup change around 2016 2017, and they've got this track that came out that I just fell in love with. It had this different lineup, and so instead of reaching all the way back to their catalog where there's just some of the players are just no longer involved, I'm gonna just go back to some of the new phase of the next release of the band, but with new music to start introducing you guys to this band. So the band Thundermother, like I said, Swedish rock and roll, and they just go out and they have a great time, and I just seem to connect to their music. It's just really nice rock and roll, and I like the vocals, I like the style of the music. And, I've seen them live. They do a great live gig. And I've seen both renditions of the band live as well, from their earlier days until the new updated version of their lineup. So without any further complicating conversation about the band, I'm going to introduce you to this track called We Fight for Rock and Roll. And I just think it's such a great rock and roll track. And if you've never heard of this band before, it's a great track to start learning them by. It just has that embodiment of the feels of rock and roll, and how rock and roll is supposed to make you just feel good and do something to just inspire you. And this is what that track has done for me. If you're brand new to my channel, welcome today. And if you are coming back to join me and you've never heard of Thundermother before and you're just giving them a chance, thanks for giving a chance to a band you've not heard of. If you've heard of Thundermother before and you're coming back just to kind of see my reaction to them, welcome to the channel. Guys, this is such a great band. And I think if you've not heard of them yet, we need to break that up and let you guys hear of them. I know they're really getting a huge following across Europe. My hope is that they'll get that same huge following across North America as well, and further regions get to know their music as well, because they're such a good band, and they have a fun stage show, and they just put out good albums. So that's my thought on it, and I just want to introduce you guys to new music. So without any further dragging this on, you guys, if you like this kind of stuff and you like music, and that's what I talk about here on this channel, if we connect with something I do, click the subscribe button below if you haven't already, and click the bell next to it if you want to get notified when I do press new content. I cover all flavors of music on here. I do a lot of rock, metal. I do vocalists that are not rock or metal, and viewer requests and people ask me for stuff all the time, and that's the kind of stuff I cover. So if that's the kind of stuff you dig, then you'll want to follow along on here. Without any further dragging you guys into any more conversation, let's just listen to some music, right? Because you guys don't want to hear me talk. You want to hear some music. So let's go into Thundermother, We Fight for Rock and Roll.
We don't need any affirmation. All we need is our imagination. Keep on going, overthrowing. We stay away from contamination. We're expecting a new sensation.
All right, so if you've never ever been exposed to Thunder Mother, you have been now. And I should let you know also that as I was talking about the lineup change, that even since this video, they've had a different lineup change. They've got a new bass player, and the bass player has changed twice. The one that left after the one you see in the video here, she also left I believe it was for educational. She's going back to school. So they've got a new bass player. Guys, this is such a fun band. And I actually sat down with Thunder Mother a few years back out at Sweden Rock and had a great conversation with the ladies about the music that they're making and how much they love rock music. And, if you are going to be at Wacken next year, I've got to tell you now, Thunder Mother is on the lineup for Wacken. You want to make sure to pencil them in on your schedule. If you've never seen them before and you're going to be there, they're a stage you want to be at. They're a band you want to check out because they bring so much fun to the show and they sound phenomenal live. And this is a rock band you want to get to know. So what did you guys think? What did you think of the dynamic of the group? And I know that there'll be some of you that are coming along that knew Thunder Mother from their early version of the lineup. So, I mean, it takes the digestion of getting used to new members of a band. And, and I know that there have been bands over the years that people still are divided on. And I think there's probably still some division on Thunder Mother as well. But I have digressed back to that. I mean, I've gone back and then I've pulled forward and just learned to feel the new feels of the band, and I appreciate the new music that they're doing. They've put out new music since then, and I've got new videos that are the newer, updated stuff coming up soon that I'm going to react to as well, because I wanted to take you back a little bit to bring you forward to their newer stuff. So, guys, this was Thunder Mother. They are Swedish rock and roll. They are so good and just such a fun band. So, I want to know your opinions on Thunder Mother. What did you like about this song? Did it make you feel those feels of what you want to feel when it comes to rock and roll and just that, I want to get out there and just live it up, kind of have that life of that's what it's about. That's what I feel with this band. So, let me know what you guys think below. And if you do know Thunder Mother from the earlier years and you've followed it through today, what do you appreciate now about the band? And do you have favorite tracks from the new version of the band? Or are you still holding your favorite tracks from the earlier days of Thunder Mother? That said, guys, I will see you on the next reaction review. Thanks for stopping by. Bye.